Hello and welcome to my presentation about the Gibbs theory, a cycle of reflection. This is part of my asset module 499 BUS, and my name is Sarah Heath-Smith. So, the Gibbs model can be used in any situation in life. I've realised it's a great way of very simply reflecting upon yourself, any event that's happened in your life and how you dealt with it, and maybe look forward at how you can do it differently next time for it to be more efficient or work better for you. So this model can also be used throughout lessons and assignments in higher education to help students reflect upon them effectively. The Gibbs model is 6 stages. So you would start simply with the description of the event, including details of who was there, what happened. You would then move on to your feelings. So you'd look at individual feelings at the start, during the event, and at the end. This can be for yourself and for other people that were in the event as well. Stage 3, evaluation. Good and bad experiences about the event, what went well, what didn't go well, and just really pick out each individual section of the event, so you can really pinpoint what might have gone wrong and what might have gone well. Stage 4, analysis. So this is where you can again break down the event into individual sections relating to each individual. What helped it? What helped the event run smoothly or not run smoothly? What hindered it? Finally, stage 5, conclusion. So in the conclusion, you effectively ask, what else could you have done differently? Was there anything else that wasn't part of the helped or hindered, wasn't part of the good and bad experiences that would have actually helped you this time round? And finally, action plan. So now you'd make a plan for what would be better to do in future similar events. So maybe you would plan it differently. Maybe you would take a different course of action when a certain event happened during the event. So basically, if this situation arose again, what would you do? And you'd make an effective new plan, which obviously helps you do a better job moving forward. So an example relevant to higher education would be the effectiveness of my last assignment that I completed for this higher education course, Foundation Equine Science. So stage 1, the assignment was to choose an FEI discipline, research and hand in a 2,000-word essay, and due to not being able to find the right information or the right statistics, I ended up losing interest, and I didn't end up starting the essay until the day before it was due and completed it in one day. I handed it in on time, but my mark wasn't up to my usual standard. Stage 2. I felt I avoided the topic before it was due, as I felt I couldn't do it and I didn't know how to start. So I felt apprehension and stress during the assignment and felt disappointed in my efforts once I'd handed it in because I knew I hadn't done the best job. Stage 3, evaluation. So good points were that I completed the assignment, still passed, and it did give me a confidence boost going forward with other assignments, knowing that I could do it. But the bad points were that I'd let myself avoid the essay until I had minimal time to complete it. And also it caused me quite a bit of stress, thinking I had to get it done in one day. And it resulted in a score which was lower than other scores I have received, which is obviously not great. Stage 4, conclusion. So I believe I was hindered by the struggle I faced trying to find the right information for the task, which is why I put it off for so long. Making sure I stay with the tutors is also an action I could improve, especially if I'm feeling stuck. and also finding somewhere where I can access more up-to-date academic articles would have probably helped me in this situation as well. And so my conclusion would be, so that would also be my conclusion, that making sure I stay in touch with tutors and finding somewhere I can access academic articles would really help me. And also, obviously, talking to the tutors if I couldn't figure out how to start something. Stage 6, the action plan. So an action plan for all assignments coming up is now set in my diary to remind me 6 weeks before the due date to start research and 1 month before to start piecing together the assignment. Starting the research well in advance of the due date would highlight any issues or questions I have early, and this gives me time to message the relevant tutor. This would prevent me from ending up in the same situation and would leave me well prepared running up to the due date, alleviating stress and apprehension. So I feel like this type of self-reflection would work well with higher education students, as I know the difficulty of tackling subjects I find hard can cause avoidance, which can lead to forgetting completely. I also think that higher education students might end up in a situation where they've got a lot of work on, and having those and being able to reflect on each assignment after it's happened will mean they're able to do a better job going forward. So why have I chosen the Gibbs theory? The Gibbs reflection is a preferable theory over the other reflections as it's easy to follow, always gives you an opportunity to improve yourself and your routines, and also helps you recognise your flaws. Brookfield, 1995, 4 lenses in reflection, is a more in-depth way of reflection, but as it focuses on clientele and colleagues, I think it would be more suited to a professional or manager over a higher education student. However, it does have 2 lenses, which are self and peer, which would help with everyday self-assessment and team building, assessing peers within a classroom environment. Although there are 2 lenses that I agree are important to reflect on, I feel that overall depth and layout isn't as simple as the Gibbs theory. And it also isn't question-based, which may cause confusion to the typical age range of a higher student. Okay, thanks for listening.